Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Udapatakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsa श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथं विदं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगण ललिता शिवशाखां विदंश्च ये कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पति गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी शबानुसुते देवे प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीशुकं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचं मां प्रसूप्तां सञ्जीवयति अखिलशक्तिधरसुधाम्नाम् अन्यां च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणां नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं जयदं सुहृदो पङ्गोर्मम मन्दमतिर्दति मत्सर्वस्य पादाम्बुजो राधां मदनमोहनं तमादिदेवं करुणानिधानं तमालवर्णं सुहृदावतारम् अपार संसार समुद्र सेतुं भजामहे भागवतस्वरूपं परमानन्दपाठाय प्रेमवर्ष्यक्षराय दे सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोऽस्तु गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमः हरे कृष्णा हरि ओम तत्सत्. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, 33, text onwards. प्रगायता स्ववीर्याणि तीर्थपादा प्रियस्रवाम् आहुता इम मे शीघ्रं दर्शनं याति चेतसि प्रगायता स्ववीर्याणि तीर्थपादा प्रियस्रवाम् आहुता इव मे शीघ्रं दर्शनं याति चेतसि. Hare Krishna. Uma, please recite.
हरे कृष्ण प्रागयता स्वावीर्याणि तीर्थपादा प्रियाश्रवः आहूता इव मे शीघ्रं दर्शनं याति चेतसि.
Sini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु प्रागयता स्ववीर्याणि तीर्थपादा प्रियाश्रवा आहूता इव मे शीघ्रं दर्शनं याति चेतसि.
Translation, can you please read?
The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, whose glories and activities are pleasing to hear, at once appears on the seat of my heart as if called for, as soon as I begin to chant his holy activities.
Very good. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, whose glories and activities are pleasing to hear, at once appears on the seat of my heart as if called for, as soon as I begin to chant his holy activities. So when we become a pure devotee, the moment we call, he is there at once on the core of our heart, on the seat of our heart. So he is giving us his audience. Similarly, when we chant the holy name sincerely, without any offense, he will come and dance on our tongue. Okay? When we sleep and chant, he will stand. When we stand and chant, he will dance beside us. So that is how merciful the Supreme Lord is. So the absolute personality of Godhead is not different from his transcendental name, form, mass, and sound vibration thereof. So we should understand that Krishna and all his paraphernalia, anything related to Krishna, are all on absolute plane. They're all identical. You should not differentiate them at all. Not different from his transcendental name, form, pastimes, and sound vibration thereof. Everything related to Krishna are all identical. No difference at all. We see the deity form in the temple. He is Krishna himself. We should not say, oh, this is a stone. And sometimes Lord Krishna comes and stay in that. No. For a devotee, is always, he is the supreme personality of Godhead in Archa Vigraha form. Because we don't have the purity to see the Satchidananda form, he comes in the Archa Vigraha form, in stone or metal or paint or whatever it is. So we should not differentiate, oh, this is made of gold, this is made of silver, this is stone, this is marble, this is wood. No. So that's why it is said the absolute personality of Godhead is not different from his transcendental name, form, pastimes, and sound vibrations thereof. As soon as a pure devotee engages himself in the pure devotional service of hearing, chanting, and remembering the name, fame, and activities of the Lord, at once he becomes visible to the transcendental eyes of pure devotee by reflecting himself on the mirror of the heart by spiritual television. Prabhupada uses all modern vocabularies to make the present people understand modern television. So that time television was, in just in full swing in 1960s. So just to make the present people that time, television was popular. So he used that. It's a spiritual. See, television, why Prabhupada mentions here, sitting here, what is happening in America, we can see what's happening in any part of the world through the satellite system, through television, telecast, we can see that. So we will also get a spiritual vision when we chant sincerely the holy name of the Lord. Just like we book the ticket, we book many things online, isn't it? There is no physical contact at all. We don't go physically there to get our things done. Everything is online. Similarly, we can also see that Supreme Personality of Godhead who is there in Vaikuntha, sitting here within our heart as Supreme Personality of Godhead, simply by sound vibration, transcendental sound vibration. And he will award us transcendental eyes when our chanting is pure. So therefore, a pure devotee who is related with the Lord in loving transcendental service can experience the presence of the Lord at every moment. Sometimes people will criticize what is the purpose or what is the logic behind giving tarpana or oblations to forefathers. Sitting here, we are taking this little water and offering to the Ganges in the name of our forefathers. Pindodaga. Okay. Food and water, we are giving them in oblations. How come the people or the ancestors who are in the upper planet system gets this? We can ask them, now sitting here, we can see each other. How is it possible? Hundreds and thousands of miles away, we are sitting and talking to each other face to face as if we are just nearby. If this is possible, why not that possible? The sound vibration, from any nook and corner of the world can reach any other part of the world. It is possible. So why not this possible? So it is possible. These are Golokera Prema Dhana Nama Sankirtana. This is directly imported from the spiritual planet Goloka. This is not material sound vibration. When we chant water, 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 will our thirst be quenched? By what is the difference? But when we chant Krishna, 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 sincerely, with purity, without offenses, he comes and dances on our tongue. Devotees can feel that, experience that. Those who are neophyte, they may not experience immediately. They will experience on a later stage when they become pure. But pure devotees can just, pure devotees like Narada, he is telling that. He's telling that, isn't it? So when we chant water, 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 we don't quench our thirst. But when we chant Krishna, he is present before us. We can experience that. Why? What is the difference? Both are words made up of some alphabets. Both are words. Water is also words made up of some alphabets. Krishna is also a word made up of some alphabets. So what's the difference?
Water is material.
What is that, Maji?
Water is material.
Yeah.
Krishna's name is spiritual or transcendental.
Okay, this is material sound vibration. The substance and the name are different. Water, the substance, and the name are different. It is material. Here, the substance and the name are identical. Krishna, the name, Krishna, the person, are one and the same. So we get the result by chanting Krishna's name, as if he is physically present here. So that's the difference. As Madaji rightly said, that water is a material sound vibration. It's a material sound vibration. And it is not identical. The name and the water substance are not identical, so we don't get the benefit of quenching our thirst. So it is a natural psychology in every individual case that a person likes to hear and enjoy his personal glories enumerated by others. That's natural instinct. And the Lord, being also an individual personality like others, is not an exception to this psychology, because psychological characteristics visible in the individuals are all but reflections of the same psychology in the absolute. Because the Lord likes glorification. He deserves it. It's not that we are simply praising him. He deserves it. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has the liking for glorification. That's why there are so many glorifications in Srimad Bhagavatam. Kunti is glorifying, Bhishma is glorifying, Brahma is glorifying, Prahlada, Dhruva, Vritasura, everybody is glorifying. He likes to be glorified. Because this quality is there in Supreme Lord. We being the part and parcel, we also have that quality in minute quantity. When somebody glorifies us, we also like, and we'll say, please say more, go on, glorify more. Although we are not eligible for that glorification. Some people glorify because their heart is so big, so they are great. Even if we don't have qualification, Yogyada, they keep glorifying. That is the magnanimity of devotees. But what we should think, no, I am not qualified. We should just pass it on to our senior spiritual masters. If at all somebody is glorifying us, it is not my ability, not my eligibility. It is just because of the mercy of my superiors, my spiritual master. Whatever quality I have, I'm just simply exhibiting as a postman, as a representative of that spiritual master. I should not get the credit, take that credit. It should go to my spiritual master. Just like Srila Prabhupada, when devotees glorifies him. Now, if at all you think that I have done something, it's not because of my ability, it is because of the mercy of my spiritual master. He is using me as an instrument in his hands. I'm just a puppet. So the credit goes. So we, give this to our superior, the spiritual master. That is what we should do. But Krishna is the original recipient or original recipient of all the glorification. There is nobody beyond him. Since he has the quality, we being the part and parcel, we also have that quality in minute quantity. Anything, any opulences, any quality for that matter, we also will have, because it's a reflection. That is what it is said. This is a natural instinct. When we appreciate the children when they achieve something. They like it so much, They feel very happy. When they criticize, they will become morose. So it is there. When something bad happens, we become dejected or rejected or distressed, isn't it? When something good happens, they are always joyful, elated. So the only difference is that the Lord is the greatest personality of all and the absolute in all his affairs. So there is nobody beyond him. He is the proprietor, he is the master, he is the controller. So there is nobody beyond him. He is the master of everything. The Lord is attracted, if therefore the Lord is attracted by the pure devotees chanting of his glories, there is nothing astonishing. Some people think that, oh, Krishna is so puffed up, proud. We have to appreciate him. You are the supreme, you are this, you are that. Suppose now Uma is working as a doctor. I am addressing her, Dr. Uma. What is wrong in that? That's her qualification. She deserves that. So it's not something proud, oh, I have to call her with doctor prefix. No. Similarly, the Supreme Lord, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what is wrong in addressing him as Supreme? It's not egoistic, it's not some proud. A CEO of a company, should be called a CEO. He cannot say, no, I am very humble. Please don't call me CEO. Please call me a peon. Will he say that? No. He is absolute. He can appear himself in the picture of his glorification. The two things being identical. The person Krishna and the name Krishna, the paraphernalia, everything is identical. Srila Narada chants the glorification of the Lord, not for his personal benefit, but because the glorifications are identical with the Lord. Identical. Narada Muni penetrates into the presence of the Lord by the transcendental chanting. So he brings the presence of the Lord by simply chanting the transcendental vibration of his holy name. Okay, so any questions or any comments on this? Okay, let's go to text 34 then. एतद्धि आतुरचित्तानाम् अत्र स्पर्शे छयामुः भव सिन्धुप्लवो दृष्टो हरिचर्यानुवर्णनम् एतद्धि आतुरचित्तानाम् अत्र स्पर्शे छयामुः भव सिन्धुप्लवो दृष्टो हरिछायानुवर्णनम्. हरे कृष्णा. उमा.
हरे कृष्ण. एतद्यातुरचित्तानां मात्रा स्पर्शे च यामुः भवसिन्धुप्लवो दृष्टो हरिचर्यानुवर्णनम्.
Maताजी.
एतद्यातुराचित्तानां मात्रा स्पर्शेच्छया मुहुः भवसिन्धुप्लवो दृष्टो हरिचार्यानुवर्णनम्.
हरि बोल. मयूरी माताजी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. एतत् हि आतुरचित्तानां मात्रा स्पर्शिच्छया मुहुः भवसिन्धुप्लवः द्रष्टा हरिचर्यानुवर्णनम्.
हरि बोल. विवेक प्रभु. ट्रांसलेशन प्लीज.
It is personally experienced by me that those who are always full of cares and anxieties due to desiring contact of the senses with their objects can cross the ocean of nescience on a most suitable boat. The constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead.
Very good. It is personally experienced by me that those who are always full of cares and anxieties due to desiring contact of the senses with their objects can cross the ocean of nescience on a most suitable boat. Constant chanting of the transcendental activities of personality of God. So Narada Muni is telling that his experience. Yes, personally experienced. Those who are bound in this petty world with the sense gratification because of the material desires, they can cross the ocean of material existence very easily on a most suitable boat. What is that? The constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the Krishna Dev. Sadadam Kirtayandoma, Kirtaniya Sadahari. Simply by constantly chanting or remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is easy to cross over the material nascence or existence. Bhavasagaram. So what is Bhavasagaram? What is Bhavasagaram?
This life, you are here in this earth.
Prabhuji?
We are here in the earth, and I mean, our life is going. This is Bhavasagara, right? Or I mean,
I couldn't get you.
We are in this material world.
Yeah.
This is like ocean.
Yeah, this is a material ocean. But what exactly that we want to cross? This material ocean, Bhavasagar, is compared to what? It's a material ocean, vast ocean, very difficult to cross over, but easy to cross over when we chant the holy name of the Lord. But what does this Bhavasagar means? What does it mean?
Threefold miseries.
What it represents?
This is a life with the threefold miseries or life?
Not exactly. Yes, that is also part of it. We are crossing what? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. Okay, we are putting a full stop to the vicious cycle of birth, old age, disease, and death. So this is crossing the Bhavasagar. Bhava means material existence of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. So Narada Muni is telling, simply by constantly chanting the transcendental activities of the personality of God, one can cross the material ocean of birth and death. Okay, Vivek Prabhu, is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
So the symptom of a living being is that he cannot remain silent even for some time. He must be doing something, thinking of something, talking about something. So we are all sentient beings, conscious beings. We cannot simply sit without any action. We cannot be inert. We have to do something, think something, say something, isn't it? How can we sit quietly like this? For how long can we do that without speaking, without remembering, without thinking? It's not possible. Generally, the materialistic men think and discuss about subjects which satisfy the senses. That's quite, natural. That I will be speaking what I like the most. Some people may like politics, some people may like cinema or sports, isn't it? Some people like devotional subject matters. But something we have to engage ourselves. We cannot be idle. So most of the time, we use our senses to discuss about subject matters of material nature. Okay. But as these things are exercised under the influence of the external illusory energy, such sensual activities do not actually give the many satisfaction. So any activity that is connected with material nature, that is illusory energy, you will not get satisfaction. You may get some, flickering happiness, satisfaction, chapala sukham, but it's not permanent. If at all we want to have a permanent satisfaction, then we have to discuss about subject matters related to personality of Godhead. On the contrary, they become full with cares and anxieties. So, as long as we are in this material world, discussing about the material matter, about sense gratification, we should be always in anxiety. We will always be in anxiety. So this is called Maya, or what is not. So this is called Maya, or what is not. What is not what? What is not? We have to complete that. How do you complete that sentence? This is called Maya, or what is not. There's one more word you can put.
Real.
What is that?
What is not real? What is not the truth?
Yes. What is not permanent? What is not permanent? That means that is temporary. Maya means that which is not permanent. Sat, asat. Sat means eternal, permanent, shashvat. Asat means temporary. That's why Lord Krishna or anything related to Lord Krishna is called Sachidananda. Sat is permanent, shashvat, eternal. Chit means full of knowledge. Ananda means full of bliss. So anything in the material world is asat, achit, nirananda. Opposite of that. So Narada Muni, by his personal experience, says that satisfaction for such frustrated beings engaged in sense gratification is to chant always the activities of the Lord. So he is advising all of us, those who are indulging in sense gratificatory activities, just to get out of the anxieties, we should chant constantly the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That will relieve our anxiety, and that will take us forward or take us toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead, slowly and gradually. The point is that the subject matter only should be changed. It's not that you have to stop talking or you have to stop acting. You do, but talk about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Guna Rupa Leela Namna. Just change the subject matter. That's it. No one can check the thinking activities of a living being, not the feeling, willing, or working processes. No, because as I told you, we are all sentient beings. We have these three aspects: thinking, willing, and feeling, and acting. So we should not stop it. We should simply change that. It's paradigm shift. Instead of material activities, make it spiritual activities. How we can make the material activities spiritual? We have to eat every day. Without eating, we cannot survive. So offer it to Supreme Lord and eat. Somebody is very talented in singing and somebody is very interested in hearing. Instead of listening or singing the Bollywood or Bollywood or Mollywood songs, sing devotional songs, glorifying, not for personal benefit, but to glorify the Supreme Personality. Similarly, each and every activity can be dovetailed in glorification of Supreme Personality of Godhead. We don't have to stop anything. That's what Narada Maharshi is hinting here. When one must change the subject matter only. Instead of talking the politics of a dying man, one might discuss the politics administered by the Lord himself. Instead of relishing activities of cinema artists, one can turn his attention to the activities of the Lord with his eternal associates like the Gopis and Lakshmis. So he is giving Prabhupada is giving an example how we can, shift from the material activities to spiritual activities. You don't be, inactive. Be active, but change the subject. The Almighty Personality of Godhead, by His causeless mercy, descends to the earth and manifests activities almost on the line of the worldly man, but at the same time extraordinarily, because He is Almighty, it does so for the benefit of all conditioned souls, so that they can turn their attention to transcendence. So he also comes and he will act as if he's an ordinary person, one among us. But all his activities are transcendental, and with his extraordinary activities, he attracts us. Now we get attracted with anyone and everyone who is having more knowledge or beauty or wealth or what you call strength, influence. We get attracted, no? The ordinary human being. If somebody is very wealthy, we are attracted to him. There'll be thousands of people, surrounding a person who is very wealthy, rich. If he's a pauper on the street, he is a beggar. Who will mind him? Nobody will be there to see him. At the same time, a very rich person is sitting there in the road. Thousands of people will surround him. So he's attracting many people, isn't it? Similarly, somebody is very, very knowledgeable. There'll be so many followers, fan following for him. Good artist, there'll be fan following for him. Isn't it? So he does so for the benefit of all conditioned souls, so that they can turn their attention to transcendence. So similarly, these are material. So the Lord, when he exhibits his extraordinary activities, the fallen souls, the conditioned souls are also being attracted to him. Why he is doing extraordinary activities, superhuman activities? So that we get attracted to him and we try to follow him in a manner. In the material world, people are trying to follow a good person of material nature, with ability in acting or any field for that matter. So Sri Krishna is exhibiting his superhuman activities so that we get attracted to him and follow him, so that we will attain the supreme abode as soon as possible. So we'll gradually be promoted to transcendental position and easily cross the ocean of nations, the source of all miseries. So this material world is source of all miseries. Dukkhalayam ashashvadam. It's a place full of miseries and temporary. Ashashvadam. This is stated from personal experience by such an authority as Sri Narada Muni. And we can have the same experience also if we begin to follow in the footsteps of the great sage, the dearmost devotee of the Lord. So Narada Muni is presenting his own experience. Now we can also cross the material nations, material existence. He was also one among us in the previous life. He also crossed this material existence and he became a pure devotee of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, we also can if we try. It is possible. Hare Krishna. So any questions or any comments on this? If not, we'll go to 35, 1635. Yamadhiviryoga kamalobham hato muhu mukunda sevaya yadvat tadatmadhana samyati. Yamadhiviryoga kamalobha hato muhu mukunda sevaya yadvat tathamatha na samyati. Hare Krishna. Uma.
Hare Krishna. यमादिभिर्योगपते कामलोभाहतो मुहुः मुकुन्दा सेवया यद्वत् तदात्माधा न शाम्यति.
ऐसे नहीं माताजी.
यमादिभिर्योगपदे कामलोभाहतो मुहुः मुकुन्द सेवया यद्वद् तदात्माधा न शाम्यति.
Mayuri Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। यम आदि भी योग पथये काम लोभ हतो मुहु मुकुंद सेवया यद्वत् तथा आत्म अधानशाम्यति.
Very good. Okay, Vivek Prabhu, translation, please.
It is true that by practicing restraint of the senses by the yoga system, one can get relief from the disturbance of desire and lust. But this is not sufficient to give satisfaction to the soul. For the satisfaction is derived from devotional services to the personality of Godhead.
Very good. It's
Very
true
good.
that by practicing restraint of the senses by the yoga system, one can get relief from the disturbances of the desire and lust, but it's not sufficient to give satisfaction to the soul. For this, satisfaction is derived from devotional service to the personality of Godhead. Just negating or just controlling the senses will not derive any positive result. You may get some satisfaction, but if you want to become blissful and happy, you have to do positive activity. That is devotional service. Simply by withdrawing the senses from the sense objects, you will not get bliss or happiness. Just like the tortoise in Bhagavad Gita, the example is given. When the enemy comes, what the tortoise does? It withdraws the limbs inside the body. Enemy cannot do it because it's just a rock like his body. Cannot attack. So when the enemy goes, he puts out his senses, his limbs, because he is safe. Similarly, simply withdrawing pratyahara. Pratyahara means withdrawing. In the yoga process, we know yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara. That is the fifth stage. Yama, niyama, following rules and regulation. Asana, sitting posture. Pranayama, breathing techniques. Then pratyahara. Withdraw the senses from the sense objects. Senses, when it comes into contact with the sense objects, what happens? Matra sparshastu kaunteya, sitoshna sukha dukkada, agama paino anityas, tam sthidikshasva bharata. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. When the senses comes into contact with the sense objects, attachment. Okay, and because we have that attachment to that sense object, when it is fulfilled and when it is not fulfilled, Siddha Ushna Sukha Dukkha. When it is fulfilled, we will feel happiness. When it is not fulfilled, we will become distressed, dejected, morose. Siddha Ushna Dvanda, duality. Okay. So we'll be subjected to duality when our senses are not satisfied. When the senses, when it comes into contact with the sense objects, we expect satisfaction. But when it doesn't happen, then we are subject to the dvanda, duality, happiness and distress. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, tolerate. Tam titikshasva bharata. Tolerate. No, definitely, when the sense comes in contact with sense objects, there'll be dvanda, duality, good and bad, sukha, dukkha, sita, ushna. Try to tolerate that because we are in the material world. Material world is full of dvandas, full of duality. So rise above the duality. How? By tolerating. We should be able to tolerate any situation for them. Why we should tolerate? Because this is temporary. Only when we tolerate, we can rise in spirituality. If we are affected by the duality, then we will never rise above the three modes of material nature. We will never be able to practice Krishna conscious activities sincerely, nicely. So Arjuna is advised here by Krishna to rise above the dvanda, duality. So here also, simply by restraining the senses from the sense objects through yoga system, you can just what do you call it, curb the desires of the mind and body. But that's not sufficient. That's not sufficient. We have to have a positive engagement of the senses. Okay. What is the positive engagement? Devotional service to the personality of God. We have to do devotional service. So, detaching from sense objects, attaching to spiritual activities. Only then will be on the right path. Both should be there. Detachment and attachment. Detachment from the sensual activities or material activities, attachment to spiritual activities. That's what is said here by Narada. Just half is not enough. 50% is okay. That is only 50%. Simply restraining from the sensual activities or material. But positively engaging in spiritual activities, the other part, 50%. So yoga aims at controlling the senses by practice of the mystic process of bodily exercise in sitting, thinking, feeling, willing, concentrating, meditating, and last being merged into transcendence. So he's just Prabhupada is just explaining about the yoga process, controlling all this. These are through the bodily process, bodily exercise. Everything is being controlled. And at last we come to the stage of trance, samadhi. The senses are considered like venomous serpents, and the yoga system is just to control them. Why the senses are considered to venomous serpents? Why it is controlled to venomous serpents?
Because they distract our mind.
What is that?
Because it distracts our mind from the Lord.
Yeah, if we have poison, what will happen? We'll die. Okay, so when we use the senses in material activities, it is as good as killing our atma. We cannot kill the atma. That's another thing. We know that, but it is as good as spiritual suicide. Spiritual suicide. That's why it is compared to venomous snakes, considered like venomous serpents. And how we can come out of that? The yoga system. We can control the senses by practicing yoga. On the other hand, Narada Muni recommends another method for controlling senses in the transcendental loving service of Mukunda, the personality of God. Since it is not possible for us to do the yoga practice in the present age, Narada Maharshi is recommending us because this is happening when? Towards the end of Dwapara Yuga. Kali Yuga is about to start. So, who are the audience for Narada Maharshi? Whom is intending this message to? Not the people in the age of Satya or Treta. His audience is us. We are his audience. So he is telling, since it is difficult for us to practice yoga, what is he telling? Devotional activities, which is very simple. Okay, so the method of controlling loving service recommends another method for controlling senses in the transcendental loving service of Mukunda, the personality of Godhead. By his experience, he says that devotional service to the Lord is more effective and practical than the system of artificially controlling the senses. His own experience is telling. In the service of the Lord Mukunda, senses are transcendently engaged. Okay. So instead of controlling through the yoga process, we should engage the senses in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. Just like we have the five senses, we can engage all the five senses in devotional activities, using the eyes to see this beautiful form of the Lord, ears to hear the transcendental sound vibration, okay, hearing Bhagavad Gita, Ramayanam, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, so on and so forth. Okay. The nose to smell the incense that is, or flowers, fragrance that is offered to Supreme Personality of Godhead. The skin to, by touching, by embracing the devotees. Okay. And what else? Tongue accepting prasadam, and glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can engage these senses in devotional activities instead of controlling it. Controlling is very difficult, as Arjuna says in Bhagavad Gita. Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayurivasu dushkaram. It's very difficult. But Krishna says it is possible, O Arjuna. Asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham charam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena chakriyade. By constant practice and detachment, it is possible. I know, yes, what you are telling is right. It is very difficult to control the senses, but it is possible by constant practice and detachment. So here, now, we are not told to do any yoga system. We are just told to practice devotional activities. Smaranam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasavanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam, which anybody can do. Very simple process. So to check them artificially is not check at all, because as soon as there is some opportunity for enjoyment, serpent-like senses will certainly take advantage. So we cannot forcefully check that. As soon as we get an opportunity, for example, somebody's telling me, suppose I'm a chain smoker. My father is telling, please stop it. Because I have respect for my father, I will stop it. Not from within. It's not coming from within. But when he is not there, I will hide and smoke. Because it is not coming from within. I don't want to stop it because of compulsion, force, I'm doing it. That's why whenever there is an opportunity, the serpent-like senses will certainly take advantage of it. The children will stop or will tell children, don't eat sweet. It will spoil your teeth. Okay, they will say, yes, yes, mama, I will not eat now. I know it. But when the mother and father goes out in the fridge, some sweet will be there, he will immediately eat it. Why? So this is here. The serpent-like senses will certainly take advantage of it. They cannot control. They cannot control. So there are many such instances in history, just like Vishwamitra Muni is falling a victim to the beauty of Menaka. Okay, he was also doing Ashtanga Yoga system. Why? Because he could not come even to the stage of Pratyahara, withdrawing the senses from the sense objects. That's why the moment he heard the ankle bell of Menaka, immediately, senses popped up. So he fell prey to Menaka. But Thakur Haridas was allured at midnight by the well-dressed Maya, and still she could not induce that great devotee into her trap. Even Maya Devi tried to induce Haridas Thakur with her beauty, but Maya Devi could not defeat Haridas Thakur because he was practicing devotional service, sincerely, was a pure devotee of the Lord. Whereas Vishwamitra Muni, he fell prey to Menaka's allurement or seduction. So the whole idea is that without devotional service of the Lord, neither the yoga system nor dry philosophical speculation can never become successful. Pure devotional service of the Lord, without being tinged with fruity work, mystic yoga, or speculative philosophy, is the foremost procedure to attain self-realization. Such pure devotional service is transcendental in nature, and the systems of yoga and jnana are subordinate to such a process. So here Prabhupada very clearly says the jnana marga, the fruitive activities, karma marga, jnana marga, and dhyana marga is not complete. You will not get 100% success rate in that. It should be accompanied with bhakti, pure devotional service. Then it will work out. So yoga and jnana are subordinate to such process, devotional process, bhakti process. When the transcendental devotional service is mixed with a subordinate process, okay, It is no longer transcendent, but is called mixed devotional service. Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Karma Mishra Bhakti. Bhakti is there, but it's mixed with karma or it is mixed with jnana. It's not pure. So you will not get the desired result with that. You should indulge in pure devotional service, not mixed devotional service, not Sakama Bhakta, not even Nishkama Bhakta. Nishkama Bhakta is just detaching from the fruitive results. But positively, one has to engage in devotional service also. Then that's fine. Simply withdrawing, as I told you, is not enough. That's 50%. Then you have to attach to devotional activities also. So Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagavatam, will gradually develop all these different systems of transcendental realization in the next. So Vyasadeva, who is the author of Srimad Bhagavatam, will devise a system for all of us who are living in the age of Kali for transcendental realization. He is explaining everything, but in a nutshell, he is telling what we should do. So these are all information. We should understand why we should do devotional service. Simply, okay, you do only bhakti, you just chant. But if we don't know anything, what is the logic behind it, then we will not take up the bit. So we should have a clear understanding why devotional service is the best method. So that's why he is giving all clear picture of karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, bhakti yoga, the comparison, the different aspects of it, the results of it. So he's explaining all these things. Hare Krishna. So text 36. Next. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya vacha patidanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nanda Kodi Vaishnava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Entire go Premanandi Hari Hari Go.